Hello, my name is Frank Christensen and I'm the coordinator of officials for IFAF in Europe. This is the first of 2 training tapes dealing with the personal foul chop block. And today we're looking at when it happens on the offensive line. So 2 offensive line players, one going low and one going high, and we'll have a look at how to handle these situations. But before we get there, before we get to the game film, let's have a look at what the MOFO and the rulebook have to say on this topic. In the rulebook, we go to Rule 233, chop block. And Article 3 says a chop block is a high-low or low-high combination block by any 2 players against an opponent who is not the ball carrier, anywhere on the field, with or without a delay between blocks. The low component is at the opponent's thigh or below. It is not a foul if the blocker's opponent initiates the contact. And then we go to Rule 9.1.10 that simply says there shall be no chop blocking. No exceptions, no nothing. Compare that to 9.1.6, the low block that has a whole array of different exceptions and when can you block and when can you not block and how can you block. For the chop block, there shall be no chop block. In the MOFO, we go to section 3.3 on contact fouls. Number 16 says, it is not a foul if either the high or the low player involved simply brushes past or makes only slight contact with the opponent. There must be force enough in each block to change the velocity of the relevant part of the opponent's body. And then it repeats, by rule, it is not a foul if the defensive player initiates the contact. And that was the theoretical part. Now let's have a look at some game film. Here we'll see the guard initiate high and then the center comes in low, and this is a classic chop block and a very dangerous block, well called by the umpire, and that is really where we would want him to be looking. Anytime the center is involved, chances are the umpire should be involved, so this is a good call. The center and the near guard, and anytime we have a situation like this where the center stands him up and then the guard goes low, anytime we have one offensive lineman going low and the others going high, we get a good we have a high risk of this happening, and a good job by the umpire to call this. Now I will say the umpire should really not be throwing his flag up in the air. That's one thing. Throw it overhand to the spot, and then the other thing is standing there looking at how beautiful the flag is. Would much rather have the umpire following the play, keep officiating. It's a good call, but there's no reason to stand there admiring your flag. Here we're looking at the center and the right guard, 57, and they're going to engage the blitzing linebacker there. Again, we see the low and the high and the dangerous combination there. Again, good call by the umpire, which is this is exactly where he needs to be looking. So this is a chop block. The center and the far guard, and this is not going to happen right after the snap. Rather, there's a little delay simply because it's the blitzing linebacker. But again, we've got the low, one of the offensive linemen goes low and the rest stay high. A good pickup by the umpire here. And in this situation, you might expect either the referee or the center judge to be able to see this also, simply because the running back who they are keying in on also is close to this. But primarily this is the umpire's call, and we can see that especially good from the end zone angle. So it's the linebacker B20 we're looking at here, and we get a good angle of the contact, and it really doesn't matter which contact, the high or the low, that happens first, or if they happen at the same time. As soon as we have this high-low combination, this is a foul, and well called, good call by the umpire. On this play, we're moving away from the center, so the left guard and tackle are going to commit this. So we've got the high, and then we've got the low. So this is going to be much more difficult to catch as an umpire. Now, I would say, if I'm the umpire here, the center and the right guard double team, so I would probably focus more on the left on 58, but still, since it's the tackle coming in, it's a lot more difficult for the umpire to see. Now, the center judge should be keying in on this tackle all the way, so he should have this, and depending on the formation, the wing on the left side also should have an idea or have a look at this tackle. But for the wing, it could be difficult to see just how much contact there is from the guard, because it looks like he's trying to get rid of this guy, A58, and he's looking to the linebacker level like he wants to get up there. But this is not a brush. We'll see a brush in the next clip, but this is not it. So this is still good contact, both high and low. But for the wing, it can be difficult to see just exactly how much high contact there is. But for the center judge here, this is his call. We wouldn't want or expect the referee to see this because it's on the other side of the ball, but the center judge should call this. We're now moving on to plays where there isn't enough for a chop block call, and the first one we're looking at the center, and this is what we call a brush. He's not really engaging with the nose tackle. Now there is some slight contact there with the two elbows, but really even with this high contact, this is not enough, because the center is not trying to engage the nose tackle. He's trying to get to the second level. He's just brushing off the nose tackle, getting to the second level. So this is not enough for a chop block. On this play, the left tackle, A73, really illustrates how a block needs to be intentional. Here, he pretty much just lies down and supplies what would be the low component of the chop block. So we do have, the white jersey, the Japanese player is being contacted high and low. But since the Mexican A73 is just lying there, that is not a block. So this is not a chop block. In this play, there really just isn't enough high contact by the center. You'll see the left guard makes solid low contact right there legally, and then A50 makes contact high with an arm, but there's really no danger zone here. The high contact, A50 really just absorbs the contact. It's not like he's seeking out contact with the defender, so this is not enough for a chop block. Here's a similar situation. You'll notice the guard goes low, and then the center goes low, and the guard really just absorbs contact. He doesn't go out and initiate any serious contact. So this is also a situation where there's not enough for a chop block. In this play, it's the right side of the line, which means the left side of the screen. And again, you'll see the tackle goes low, but the guard, even though he puts out a hand, it's really just not enough high contact. We want solid contact, both high and low, before we call this, and this just is not enough for a flag. So in this last clip, the right side of the formation is the left side of the screen, obviously. So we're looking at the two red jerseys at the very far left side of the screen, the tackle and the tight end. And you'll notice how the tight end tries to go high, but really fails because the tackle goes low so quickly. So even though he tries to initiate contact, there is really no good contact to defend a flag for a chop block here, where we do want both the high and the low contact to be substantial, and that is not the case in this situation. That was the training tape. I hope you found something you can use on the field.